Let me take that to you, Sanjay Hegde, because it's interesting. The Supreme Court has sat on this matter for the last, what, 4 years, 3 years now. Now, finally,
No, it's 5.
5 years? 5 years. They've sat on it for 5 years. So after 5 years, the matter has come up. Do you believe that the court should have dealt with this much earlier? Several elections have passed in the last 5 years, and the bond system, which is now being heavily criticized, continues. Should the court have acted much earlier, Mr. Hegde?
Well, the court ought to have acted much earlier, but the court has its own constraints as well. Very often in these technical matters, it takes time to understand. The second thing is that you had Corona over 2
sorry,
years.
Mr. Hegde. It doesn't take 5 years for the court to understand, surely?
No, it doesn't take 5 years for an institution to understand, but you must appreciate that the Supreme Court has a high turnover of judges. For a Chief Justice to tie down a bench and finish this matter, maybe the Chief Justice of the day of the past Chief Justices had different priorities. Yes, now the matters are listed. They are now to be heard on the 6th of December. And hopefully, once the process starts of a hearing, it goes to completion. So we have some kind of finality. I do agree with the professor as to the question of opacity. You know, they are opaque insofar as the public are concerned. But there are also ways where the government of the day might even know who the donors are. Supposing somebody buys bonds from the State Bank of India and then gives it to party X, which is opposed to the government. If you tally the numbers of the bonds, who has that information? Is it opaque enough to prevent government vendetta? We do not really know. This is an additional problem to the problems that the professor has indicated to you.
So in a way, the government has access in a way to the list of donors in a way that the opposition will never have. The other point, and this is Syed Zafar Islam, the fact on the ground, funds via electoral bonds 2019-20, and I'll put that chart again. BJP got 2,555 crores, Congress next 318, TMC 100, DMK 45 crores, Shiv Sena 41, NCP 29, AAP 18. Just imagine, one party is getting 2,555 crores, the next is 318. I mean, how do you have a free and fair election?
Rajdeep, can I request you to put another chart?
Yes.
And I think it is important for the viewer to know how many elected representatives BJP has and how many these parties have. So it is important for people to know that BJP has the maximum number of MPs, both in Rajya Sabha as well as in Lok Sabha. They have maximum number of MLAs. And many of the corporates who are donor, actually on the basis of the number of electoral representatives the party has, they have the certain formula. For instance, I'll give you an example. Tata Group. Everybody knows that Tata Group functions based on principle. But they have certain formula they follow for certain formula. And the formula is that the party which has the maximum representative will get the maximum donation.
One minute. Zafar Saab, you are a banker yourself. Here is a party getting 85% of the electoral bonds. The BJP doesn't have 85% of the MLAs and MPs in this country, but you're getting 85% of the monies through electoral bonds. How can you have a free and fair election?
No, but BJP is a pan-India party. Well, all the other parties is a pan-India party. Can you also, those donors are donating to the party from different parts of the country. But these party does not exist in those states. Secondly, it only brings transparency.
How do I get transparency? I don't know which corporate is donating to which party. Where is the transparency?
Rajdeep, what system we had earlier? The cash system. And Congress party and many other parties want that system go back to that old system of where they are receiving cash. Part of the cash will go to their leaders and part of the cash will go to their to the party. This was clearly black money was playing during the election. Now everything is being accounted for. It comes through a particular account, a designated account of that donor, which is maintained with certain banks. SBI Bank, and bank issues a bond which can be encashed in the designated branches. So everything is transparent.
Okay, you're claiming, sir, sir, if you're saying, let me push you one more time before I go to the Congress spokesperson. You're saying it's transparent.
Please go ahead.
If I want to know,
Yes.
if I want to know which are the corporates that have donated to the BJP and which have donated to Congress, Trinamool Congress, how do I find out? How do I know what is the quid pro quo that has been stuck between? Only there are a few trusts like Tata's which may go public with it, but most don't. So how do I know? How can you say the system is transparent?
No, Rajdeep, when they were accepting cash, how much cash they were receiving?
No, that was terrible. No. But why? How is this better?
So there is an improvement in the system, what we had.
Okay,
now we have a transparent system
You're
where
not still telling me.
everything is.
How do I know how much money has been given? Which corporate gives how much money?